This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this date. And on this day, May 11th, 1989, some 35 years ago. As you can see by the photo, if you're watching this, like watching the video, you see Hextall of the Philadelphia Flyers without much of his goalie equipment. Well, Ron Hextall had a reason for that, going cuckoo bananas. So anyway, it's Game 6 of the conference finals between the Montreal Canadiens and the Philadelphia Flyers. The winner of this series would face the Calgary Flames for the Stanley Cup, as Calgary earlier had won in 5 games from the Blackhawks. The Campbell Conference. So it's the Wales Conference, now called the Eastern Conference, and it was a fight field. However, Game 1 would be marred by controversy after Philly won 3-1. Chris Chelios would make a vicious hit on Brian Propp of the Flyers, knocking Propp out of the playoffs. The Flyers were upset by this. Even more upset when the Habs would put up 3 straight wins by a combined score of 11-1. So it looked like Montreal had played well, and Patrick Roy was coming of age again. Philly would go into Montreal and win Game 5 in overtime, in a shocker. And then they would come home to the Spectrum for Game 6. Philly got off the board quickly. And Scott Mellenby, the man who created the rat trick, and of course those plastic rats in Florida, scored a goal from Pelle Eklund and Brian Propp. Well, Propp came back actually, but that was a huge hit on Propp. So anyway, Propp wasn't making a sense. 1-0. However, Montreal, with Jay Wells in the box for hooking, would score on a power play. Mike Keane, his third of the postseason, from Bobby Smith and Mats Naslund. In the second period, Montreal had another power play goal as Ron Sutter was in the box for the Flyers. Bobby Smith put up his 8th for the playoffs from Chelios and Mats Naslund. Montreal would then score a third goal as Chris Chelios scored from Bob Gainey and Craig Ludwig. So, Chelios was on the Habs, and he did score a goal. Montreal would score 4th with Ryan Walter, his second of the playoffs, from Russ Courtnall. And it looked good for Montreal. Despite Philly scoring a late goal by Propp from Ron Sutter and Scott Mellenby, the game was practically over. And with under 2 minutes left, and the Flyers looking like they were going to be knocked out of the playoffs, Hextall decided to take action. As he saw Chris Chelios coming, it was an offside call on Montreal. Hextall decided to leave the crease, run up to Chris Chelios, and basically try to beat the tar out of him. It was just shocking and all that. Hextall went after Chelios for what Chelios did to Propp, and it was like hectic. And people knew this was going to happen. That Chelios was a marked man, but nothing had happened until Game 6. With nothing to lose, Hextall decided to do that. Shell Samuelson also got a 10-minute misconduct for his role in the brawl. Bobby Smith got 10 minutes penalties, and Patrick Roy got penalized for leaving the crease and a misconduct. Hextall was given a 10-minute penalty and ejected from the game for attempt to injure. So that's what happened. And all that. So the Montreal Canadiens won the game 4-2. Of course, Chelios was hurt, but not too hurt to not play in the Stanley Cup final. The Habs would go on to the Stanley Cup final to take on Calgary. And unfortunately for Habs fans everywhere, the mystique of the form and the mystique of the Montreal Canadiens were not enough as the Flames came into the Forum, won Game 6 on Forum ice, thanks to Lanny McDonald's key goal and Doug Gilmour scoring twice, to lift the mug on Montreal home ice and making them the first team to win a Stanley Cup at the Forum against the Habs since 1928, but although that was a little bit suspicious. But the Rangers did win the Stanley Cup at the Montreal Forum, but it was against the Montreal Maroons, who shared the arena with the Habs. So the Habs finally had a Stanley Cup clinching losing game at the Forum. Usually, if the Habs would lose the Stanley Cup, they would lose it on opponent's ice, and that's a mistake. But yeah, so Montreal lost the 1989 Stanley Cup Finals, and Hextall had lost his marbles. The NHL decided to give him a suspension to the tune of 12 games for the 89-90 season, kind of to send a message to Hextall that you can't take justice in your own hands like that. And it was huge. But Hextall, in a sense, had the right to go after Chelios, but in the other way, he went about it all wrong, and it didn't work out for him after all. Anyway, I'm Jeff. I'm going to do